This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields. And man, it is much easier to go live at 1 o'clock in the morning after a Rays win, obviously, than a Rays loss. But it's just a lot of stuff to be super impressed about with the Rays. Mostly it starts with the offense. 15, it says 14 there, but 15 hits for the Rays. It was just dominant. The amount of full counts that they put together, especially with Jeffrey Springs. And, you know, Jeffrey Springs has been one of the better pitchers in baseball over the last kind of 2 weeks. So to see the Rays not only get on him, but the way that they got on him, I thought was super impressive. They upped the pitch count. They worked counts. I think at one point they had 8 full counts that they worked between Pepio and then the rest of the A's pitching. I mean, it was just really impressive stuff from the Rays offense in a game where they needed it. You know, they needed to have control. And, you know, it was one of those, until the 3-run homer that Pep gave up, it was one of those vintage Rays wins from before, you know, this whole slide. You know, the offense was going, the defense was making kind of standout plays. And you know, this is the kind of stuff that, you know, you love to see from the Rays. But, you know, we're going to talk about Pepio and how I thought he was a little bit hot and cold. The web gems on defense, we're going to look ahead. But first, we got to talk about the offense.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Constant pressure all night. Didn't really even give the A's, you know, room to breathe. They scored in 5 of the 9 innings. And even in the other innings, they had base runners all over the place. You know, you don't get 15 hits by accidents. You know, it was 15 hits and 3 walks. So 18 base runners at some point. Just ridiculous. 2 sac flies mixed in there. And it was hard contact all over the place for the Rays. You know, Yandy had that one, the blistered, what was it, 113 off the bat. I mean, geez, that's the vintage Yandy. But, you know, the Rays had hits today at 113 off the bat, at 108 off the bat from Josh Lowe on his double, 105 off the bat from Junior on a single, 105 again by Junior on the home run, 105 by Brandon on the home run, 104 on Josh on the sac fly, Chandler with 103 off the bat on a single. I mean, what is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 balls hit 99 miles per hour or harder. That is vintage stuff from the Rays. But I actually think, so I'll go with turning points in this game. And the first one comes right in the second inning.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The first one was in the second inning when the Rays get second and third, no out, and you know, new Rays, new Rays member Piero, who I had high hopes that they'd bring up for, with seeing 2 lefties in the first two days against the A's. He just rakes a double, right? Second and third, nobody out, and then strikeout, and then I was about to tweet, you know, who do you have least confidence in any team in baseball to score with a runner on third and nobody out than the Rays? And then Nick Fortes comes up and delivers a massive RBI, 2 RBI single. It was, you know, I thought his most impressive at bat with the Rays, down 2 strikes on the count, hits the ball 103 right from the middle. And I really saw his defense impact. I was trying to think of the word to use, the defensive impact, more today than other days. I thought his framing was really well. How about that ball he caught between his armpit and his hip, or I guess his forearm and his hip? I mean, that was crazy. But, you know, our other turning point also goes with our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Junior Caminero, man. 3 for 4, 2 beautiful plays defensively, 1 play defensively that, well, you know, we'll give him a pass for in the 9th. But that home run, him and Brandon Lowe going back to back, literally hitting almost the same spot in the batter's eye, was just therapeutic for me, is the right word. Seeing how much the Rays have struggled and seeing how that was Junior's 5th home run of the road trip. That was Brandon's 4th. You know, that's big time stuff from guys that can be hitting 3-4, 2-3 in this order, especially without Jonathan Aranda. We talked about in the Seattle series, you could really feel his presence not being there more. And those guys continue to have stepped up and continue needing to step up in bigger ways for the Rays. And, you know, we saw that in this game for sure. And the play Junior made, and we'll talk about that later with, you know, the web gems, the barehanded play and throwing it across the entire diamond, the improvements he's made defensively. And it's someone that, I love guys that work hard. I love guys that are just grinders. And Junior's one of those guys. That's why I'm all for the Rays paying him, because you're paying not only the production he did as a 21/22-year-old, you're paying for the future production, because this guy, him and Chandler Simpson, work harder than anyone on the Rays team. So you're banking on that at 22 years old, and a guy that, knock on wood, hopefully gets to 40 home runs this season. I mean, he's just been a joy to watch. And so was this offense today, man. I mean, again, not much more you can ask for them. Obviously, a few more hits from their scoring position. You get bases low, nobody out. You only score one. Second and third was able to get them in. But, I mean, the Rays end up having 18 base runners and only 7 hits, so 7 runs. So I would enjoy that to go up to maybe 9, 10 runs. But, who am I to complain about a Rays win, considering how rough things have gone lately? So, we kind of laid out what the Rays need to do to, get back in this thing. And it started with a win tonight. And yeah, I think it's honestly going to take going 5-1 over this next county today stretch. Now, I think it's going to take going 4-1 over this next stretch. And tomorrow's a big day to kind of see if the Rays can accomplish that. You take the first 2 in Sacramento against the A's, it really gives you confidence going to the last four days of this crazy, crazy road trip that the Rays are on. But we'll talk about the game tomorrow in a second. We're also talking about Ryan Pepio and how good the defense was right after this. This episode is brought to you by Open Phone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? Nope, you called the next one. That's why having a reliable business line is so important, and that's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is a #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. Did you juggle 2 phones just to keep your business and personal calls separate? Open Phone solves that instantly. Open Phone is offering Locked On Show listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. If you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who look for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. So take a flyer on MVP. So, for example, if you think Baker is going to win the MVP, Baker Mayfield, now's your time to do it on August 26th at FanDuel to bet it at a really good price. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now, because Futures Days is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. And lastly, this episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue. And so, as you guys know, is this hat that I'm wearing. For Rays fans like you and me, this one is the best. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. So instead of having, kind of those bulkier baseball hats, this one is super light fit. You can work on the boat, wear it, playing tennis, playing golf, anything you want to do. It's a super versatile hat. And they also have package deals with golf clubs. So if you guys are really into golf, Florida, luckily you can golf year round. It's the best combo that you can show. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The go to even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. So again, I appreciate everyone that's in here past 1 a.m. Eastern on the Rays postcast. So you guys leave comments down below, and we will get to them momentarily. But first, let's talk about Ryan Pepio, because I'm not gonna lie, I thought Ryan Pepio's stuff was not the greatest today. It was bad, and I won't say bad. It was, decent, and then not good, and then not good again. So, as we kind of go through this hit list, it starts with a walk to Lawrence Butler, and then immediately picks him off, which was awesome. The leadoff guy gets on the first 3 times, and the Angels can't even get through the order for a full first time. By the time we get to the 4th innings, Lawrence Butler leading off again. But where he got into problems, I thought, was with the hard hit balls that were luckily to get caught. So, you had the ending that really sticks out to me was at the top of the order. You get the Lawrence Butler line out at 93 miles per hour, the Brent Rooker lineup at 108, and the Nick Kirsch fly out at 98 miles per hour. So at that point, when you see him hitting the ball hard, it's only a matter of time till I thought they were going to get one. And then the first batter of the next inning, Shea Langoliers, just, demolishes one off the bat, to left center, just money. And then from there is where things started to get, a little bit iffy. You had Brent Rooker, another hard hit single. Shea Langoliers, again, he's just been raking him and Brent Rooker both. And then you get the Soderstrom homer at, again, 104 off the bat. But in between that, I thought you had some filth from Ryan Pepio. He had the back foot slider. I forgot who it was to, but it was just absolute filth. So Pep was, again, heavy fastball, changeup, but threw that slider more than he has anytime I can remember. He threw the slider just as many times as the changeup, and he threw it mostly to righties because that slider is going away from righties. Also threw the curveball. I thought had a lot of really good curveballs as well. But there was a point there from like the fourth, fifth, sixth inning where I think the fifth was actually the point where he got hit around a little bit. But there was a 2-inning stretch where Ryan Pepio looked dominant, and he was lucky enough that he had defenders where the hard hit balls were hit to. So you got to trust your defense at some point. But let's talk about those web jams. Trusting your defense. How about the play Brandon Lowe made? That was filthy in the second or third inning. Full out dive, get up, throw a dart to Yandy, who had to pick it out. Yandy's just been great defensively for the Rays, picking out huge plays. And then you get the junior barehanded play that we already talked about. This was kind of, I won't say peak, because Piero, I cannot say his last name, lost his glove trying to rob the ball in center, which I thought was funny. I originally thought that the glove and the ball went over together, like he caught the ball and then they both fell over, but thankfully replay didn't show that. But again, one of those vintage Rays wins outside of the 3-run homer. But let's look ahead to the game tomorrow. Will be Jacob Lopez starting for the A's, 5-6 with a 3.59 ERA. The Rays are facing the two best starters that the A's have. His last time out, his best outing of his career, 7 2/3, 3 hits, 10 Ks against the Nationals. Dominant stuff out of him. His time before that, 5 innings, 5 hits, no runs against Diamondbacks. Time before that, 5 1/3, 2 hits, no runs against Houston. He has not allowed a run his last 3 starts. He has been really, really good. His last time out against the Rays, he went 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. Only 3 1/3 because the Rays, like they did today, were able to really, get on that pitch counter and get it up. So Junior had a home run against him in that game. Aranda, who's unfortunately not playing, had a big 2-run single. So, a lot of the guys that were in the lineup today will play again tomorrow. I think the lineup might even be kind of carbon copy and paste. Maybe you play Morel in the outfield. If Walls is ready to go, you play him at second. You move Brandon to first. You DH Yandy, whatever you want to do. But I think a lot of the lineup is going to look similar tomorrow, and as it should. Those guys put together really, really good at bats. Really impressed with this Rays win. Now let's get to your guys' comments. We got Jack's takes. He says pulling out a win against a way sub 500 team after being swept and practically giving that away too. I don't like the negativity today. Jack, he says whatever, it's a win. Who cares? Baseball is the ultimate game where any team can win on any given day. And yes, being swept against the Mariners sucks, but I think it speaks a lot. On a travel day, you come back and you handle the game nicely against the A's, like we've only seen maybe 3 times since All-Star break. You take that. As we go to Gary, he says a nice bounce back victory after being swept in Seattle over the weekend. We don't talk about Junior Caminero defense enough. He's improved substantially. Good to see Everson Piero out there too. I agree with all that. As we go to Bates, finally a complete baseball game, and the results were clear. Great dub, fellas. Yeah, and thankfully we finally have a 9th inning where Pete kind of had our hearts going a little bit. As we go to Ezra, this is the type of energy I love. I will always stay up to watch the Rays, even after a sweep. So why? I have the energy for you guys. I appreciate all you guys being in here. As we go to Gary Glasgow, what kind of momentum does this 15-hit win give the Rays? Hopefully a lot, man. Hopefully a lot. This offense has been scuffling at times the second half of the year, and that's kind of saying it nicely. They've really struggled at some parts. So seeing 15 hits is not something you see all the time from the Rays, and it's the way that they got the hits, right? There was not a lot of soft outside of the swinging bunt from Yandy. There was not a lot of soft contact on those hits. It was hard hit balls. So, you don't see the Rays as I'm looking here, didn't have many hits under 90 miles per hour. It was mostly hard hit balls. In fact, the only ball that was hit under 90 miles an hour that wasn't a hit was Yandy's single at 62 miles per hour, a streamer from Yandy, which is funny because and Chandler had one hit at 89 miles an hour for a single. But it's funny because Yandy usually hits the ball so hard. I mean, it's funny when you see him get that hit after hitting 110 on the ground for an out. But hits come in whatever ways. We go to Cruz. Might be a first-time commenter. If he is, thank you very much. Can someone explain what happened with the Kurtz hit? I'm wondering how pop-up with 7-9 exit velo and 60-degree launch angle is a double. So for me, that play is on Mangum. He needs to come and call that ball. You got to call off Junior now. Maybe he did, and Junior didn't hear him. Junior also needs to have some feel there that, like, I've been running a long time. I'm way out in left field. Like, I should probably back off. But, that's a play that Jake Mangum needs to do. Needs to take control of. And, it happens, miscommunication. But, yeah, it is tough. As we go to RG, and primetime hits are hard sometimes, but the Rays are worth it. Yeah, anytime the game starts at 10 Eastern, it's tough, man. I mean, a lot of times I'm in bed by 10, but it also gives you something to look forward to throughout the day. And now again, tomorrow we get to look forward to because the Rays play at the exact same time all week. As we go to Wander, FJ Hamilton says, really could use a sweep this series. Yeah, I mean, that would really, really propel the Rays down the stretch. Let's go to Gary for the last comment. That he says, feel bad for A's fans, both in Oakland and Sacramento. They left Oakland and are only supposed to play in Sacramento for 3 seasons. They won't adopt a city name, although they're terrible. Yeah, it's tough, and it's something that I hope the Rays, and now it looks like they won't have to deal with. But yeah, I mean, you never hope for a franchise to especially the fans, to go through something like that. And the A's had one of the kind of richest traditions. People forget 80s, 90s. The A's were really good. The early 2010s, or I guess mid 2010s team. It would be late 2010s teams because 2018 is when the Rays beat them in the wild card. Those teams are really good. I mean, Sean Manaea, you had Matt Chapman, you had Matt Olson, you had Marcus Semien. I mean, just go down the line of how good that team was. I'm just naming 4 guys off the top of my head that are now playing really good ball and all got really fat contracts to go play for different teams. So, the A's and Rays are always going to be compared because of the kind of the small market payroll. But, it's unfortunate because they're a team that were really fun to watch and had success, into the late 2010s. So again, I appreciate everyone that hopped on here tonight. It's never easy going live. It's 1:10 in the morning right now. But if you guys are in here, make sure you guys leave a like as you head out. If you guys are watching the replay, leave a like as well. And I will see you guys late tomorrow night, or even tomorrow morning, technically. So I will see you guys later.